YouTube, what's going on? What's happening? Listen, what you're about to watch in this video is a live call that I hosted with the Trendsetter Foundation community for clothing brand owners. Shout out everyone that's involved. In this call, I broke down exactly how you can build relationships with your manufacturers, how to negotiate, communicate effectively, and how to spot if a manufacturer is the right fit for you or not. The reason why I'm uploading this video is because there's a lot of brand owners that I speak to every single day that want to build these relationships with their manufacturers but don't know how to. No framework, no strategy, no process. In this video, I give you just that. I break down how you can have that long-term vision, that long-term plan, communicate your vision clearly with your manufacturers. I break it all down to you from start to finish. So if you're a clothing brand owner who's working with some manufacturers, ordered a few samples, met some manufacturers at a trade show, speaking to manufacturers on Alibaba, but want to go from transactional to relationship, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Live training. Let's go. Yeah. All right, cool. So as I was saying, today we're going to be touching on how to avoid manufacturer mayhem. Now, when I say manufacturer mayhem, I'm not too sure if any of you guys have gone through similar situations where you've lost money with manufacturers. They may have made a mistake, like Jay was just saying with his production, but they're not trying to refund you. Have you guys gone through any of these situations before, manufacturers?
A couple.
And cool, let's get started, man. Let's get started. Yeah, I like to keep things real simple. Yeah. From our last session, you guys know that I like to operate from principles, and I also like to operate from acronyms as well. So the CCC acronym stands for communication, clarity, and consistency. And this is all it really takes for you to build that strong relationship with your manufacturer and show up as an expert from the very beginning. Yeah, so remember, it's not necessarily about being friendly and being kind or whatever the case may be. That's standard, but this is what your manufacturers really want to see. C for communication, clarity, and consistency. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down each and every single one of them and show you how you can master each little pillar. Yeah? Cool. Let's dive into the first one, which is communication. Now, the first part of the acronym is communication, like I said, and this is the foundation of yourself and your manufacturer's relationships. Now, a lot of clothing brands, they complain about poor communication from their manufacturers. I used to be one of them, without actually looking into the mirror to determine whether or not they are communicating effectively themselves. All right, so from the minute you first start reaching out to your manufacturers, you have to establish yourself as someone that's been into this industry for a minute. Like I said, you're not new to this, you're used to this. That being said, I'll put together a little template for you guys, yeah, and I want to go through it. I'm going to send it into the community right. So this is a little free template for everyone. It's called conversation templates. And these templates are going to help you communicate with your manufacturers effectively in loads of different scenarios. You guys check the community now and we'll go through it. Cool. So if you open it up and you go down to the second page, you guys see where it says conversation template, manufacturer intro. Should be the screen here. Everyone on the page, yeah? All right, cool. So let's break this down. I'm going to read through this conversation template, and we're also going to go through why it's beneficial and why it actually works. Cool. So let's dive into it. Now, all right, so introduction. Hey, hope you're well. Just reaching out to state that we would like to go ahead and produce a sample with you for enter product. This is where you'll enter what type of sample you're looking to produce. The design team have prepared a detailed tech pack that states all of the necessary information of the samples, including the size, measurements, fabrics, and colors. We are ready to begin the process. Please can you let me know the best way that we can forward you the tech pack? And then we've got some questions that you should ask. So once you take a look through the tech pack, we'd appreciate it if you could clarify a few details for us. Please can you let us know the following questions: the cost of your samples, including shipping and delivery, the expected completion time for the samples. Please can you specify how long production will take? And then lastly, how can we pay the initial deposit for the sample? And then just to close that message off, we understand that the production process will require collaboration to make sure that the product comes out as good as possible. It would be beneficial to both of us if you could keep us updated throughout the whole process by sending us through progress photos and maintaining reliable communication. We're excited about getting started on producing this new sample and appreciate your attention to these details. If you have any questions, please feel free to let us know. All right, so that's how I would go about introducing myself to a new manufacturer and going ahead and trying to get those samples in place. Now, what I want to do is I want to break down why this template actually works. Okay. Now, number one, we've got an informal intro and getting straight to the point. Why do I say informal intro? It's about the same thing that we touched on at the start of this session, where I say we're building that relationship. If you're speaking too formal with someone and you're saying, yes, sir, like, can we order this, please? Like, it becomes very hard for you to actually build that relationship. Like, sometimes, I'm not too sure, some of you may have had a job in the past where you're working with this manager who just sticks by every single rule and he's strict. It's hard to build that relationship with them. So this little intro, like, hey, hope you're well, just having those conversations with your manufacturer without being too formal, yeah? Then next, why this works is that you're showing that you are prepared and organized. Again, this is just showing that you're at a certain level with your clothing brand. Typically, a new clothing brand wouldn't approach it in this way. So where we've said that the design team have prepared a detailed tech pack that states all of the necessary information of the sample, it just gives your manufacturer a quick insight to say, okay, cool, these people know what they're talking about. Notice something that I've done within this part as well. I said the design team. Now, I'm going to touch on this a bit later in the call. But whether or not you guys actually have a team around you at the moment, I want you guys to always act as if you do. Yeah? Act as if you are operating like that already. And we're going to dive into why that's so important shortly. Yeah? So show that you're prepared and organized. 2, you want to be assertive. You want to control the conversation at the end of the day. Remember, your manufacturers need you just as much as you need them. So you're kind of letting them know how you want this thing to go down. You said, all right, cool. Once you take a look through the tech pack, we'd appreciate you if you could clarify a few details for us. You're leading the conversation. Now, cool. We all up to scratch at the moment, yeah? I know there's a lot of information that I'm saying. Everyone's still good with it?
Yeah, all good, bro.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, this point here where we're asking questions, this is like a win-win for you. You're taking 2 wins here. Number one, you're getting the answers for your questions, answers for the questions that you actually need to know. But secondly, you're able to hold your manufacturers accountable, which is why I always say, try to speak to your manufacturers through text or through email so you can always refer back to what they've said. So for example, if your manufacturers are saying, you ask them the question, what's the expected completion time to complete the samples? If they've told you 15 days, now you're able to hold them accountable because they've answered this question for you and they've let you know how long it's going to take. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? You want to hold them accountable just in case they're a bit delayed within your production now. You can literally forward them back the message and say, but hold on, you said it's going to take 15 days. It's been 25 days. What type of compensation can we put in place? So that's a big part, holding your manufacturers accountable. Now, over here, we've got expressing your experience, yeah? Now, where we said we understand that the production process will require collaboration to make sure that the product comes out as good as possible. This is letting your manufacturers know that you've been into this process. You understand what it takes to produce a 10 out of 10 sample because you've been through this process time and time again. Next, you want to express your expectations. Be clear on that. You need to put your best foot forward and say what you want out of the situation of working with your manufacturers from the very jump, yeah? So where I've said at the bottom here, it would be beneficial to us if you could keep us updated throughout the whole process by sending us progress photos, letting them know you want regular updates and you want progress photos, videos of the release, and then also said maintaining reliable communication. You've put your expectations on the table, and now if they're not meeting those expectations by the time it comes to your bulk order, you know that this manufacturer may not be the one to work with. AJ, you raised your hand. Talk to me, bro.
So basically, they don't have to hop on a video call. As longer they just send you a picture of the progress. Is that okay?
Repeat that one more time for me, please, bro.
So basically, they don't have to hop on a FaceTime as long as they send you a photo showing that it's happening.
You can jump on a call with them. Like, there's no I'm not saying not to jump on a call with them, but I'm saying when it comes to the important information, like how much your sample's gonna cost or when the sample's gonna be done, you want to get that in text message. It's like an informal contract which you can kind of hold even.
Oh, I mean, you said over there to send regular pictures of the progress. Would it not be better to jump on a call during some of the progresses?
It could be either
update?
either or. It's never. You can do
Okay.
both if that makes sense. But it can be difficult. Like when you're working with manufacturers overseas in China specifically, they're 8 hours
Yeah.
ahead. If that makes sense, to get on a call with them can be crazy. And sometimes you've got to remember the language barrier as well. They may be able to type English and translate in English, but they may not be able to actually speak fluently to speak on the phone. Do you know what I mean?
I just wanted to say, if you do hop on a call though, I would recommend like just after follow-up email recapping everything that you spoke about, so you have that record of like conversation and they know what side you're on and what you expect as well.
Most
Oh,
definitely.
okay, thanks.
Also, if you think about it, mate, if you're getting pictures and videos, you can potentially use that for your BTS content as well.
For sure. For sure. You guys got it. You guys got it. You guys got it. And then last but not least, we're just opening up the floor for questions now. It's meant to be a partnership. You guys are meant to be working together. So you obviously I mentioned that you want to be assertive, but you don't want to be too controlling. So open up the floor for them to ask you any questions. At the bottom, we've got please feel free to ask us any questions. Let us know. So it's like you're giving them the option to ask you a few questions about your brand, what you do, etc., etc. So that's one of the first conversation templates over there. And we've got another one which we won't go through now. You guys will be able to go through it on your phones. You guys have the templates already. These templates, you don't need to necessarily copy and paste them. Okay, so you guys can tweak it, adapt it to align with how you speak day to day or whatever the case may be. It's just a format that you guys can follow. I'm sure there's 5 different conversation templates on here. So there's the sample production, the manufacturer introduction, there's bulk production, also like production errors. So if your manufacturers ever make any errors in production, there's a few different templates that you can use on here to help communicate with them. And when it comes to production errors, I want you guys to be a lot more formal. Like when you're introducing yourself and you're speaking about your samples, you can be informal. Don't come across as a joker, but just have general conversations with them. But when it comes to them making a mistake, be a lot more direct, a lot more brief, a lot more straight to the point, so you can get down to the matter of the situation. All right, cool. So with these conversation templates, you're going to be in position, yourself and your brand's going to be in position as someone who knows what they're talking about from the very beginning. Yeah, and this is going to leave less room for manufacturers to believe that they can take advantage of your lack of experience. They shouldn't even know that you lack experience. A lot of you within this call are just getting started. You haven't released your first products yet. Don't let your manufacturers know that. All right, cool. And like I said, you can translate these conversation templates in a way that aligns with how you speak as a person. Cool. So next I want to talk about consistency. Yeah, that's the second C. Now, consistency is all about proving you're serious. This is big. Now, manufacturers, they're always going to prioritize brands that bring repeat business to them. Why wouldn't they? Like if there's a brand that's always coming back and consistently providing those orders for them, they're going to put them higher on that priority list. Okay. Ultimately, they're positively impacting the bottom line of their business. So they're going to put that on a higher pedestal. However, even if you're just starting small, being able to show predictability, you guys write this down, yeah? 2 words, predictability and relatability, that you're going to be consistently ordering throughout the year will help you to build trust and secure better deals over time. These are the 2 things that your manufacturers want. They want to be able to see that they want to be able to predict when you're going to be ordering throughout the year and rely on the fact that you actually are going to order. And I promise you, they're going to value you a lot more as a clothing brand. Prime example, I've been working with one of my manufacturers in China, Guangzhou. I'm going to be going out there in April to go and visit them. I'm going to be in China for 3 weeks. But what I do at the start of every year, I've done it at the beginning of January. Her name's Alicia, I send her a whole breakdown of exactly what I'm going to be producing throughout the year. This just gives her that full 360 scope of, okay, cool, they're going to be ordering some tracksuits, some puffer jackets, some t-shirts, some hoodies, and some socks. Yeah, all right, cool. This is what they're going to be ordering throughout the whole year. This is what we can expect from them revenue-wise as well. It's like now Alicia she's in a much more comfortable position to do things such as offer me a little discount here and there. Or now with the relationship that I have with her, she gives me free samples every now and then as well, because she can simply rely on the fact that I'm going to be consistently ordering with her. Does that make sense, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So what I want to do is I want to go through 3 ways that you can actually show consistency to your manufacturers. All right. Now, number 1 is showing your long-term vision. Yeah. Showing your long-term vision, similar to what I said in terms of giving your manufacturers that whole year. I'm not saying that you guys have to do this. This is something that I decide to do. You don't have to. It's not necessary. I know some of you guys may not even know what you're going to be releasing for the whole year. But I definitely would recommend at minimum, try and get 6 months ahead. That's like the industry standard, 6 months ahead. So when you're in winter, you already want to be planning and preparing for what you're going to be releasing in summertime. Yeah, so try and stay at minimum 6 months ahead. But what does showing your long-term vision actually do? Even if your first order is small, it clearly communicates your future plans, and then it also lets your manufacturers know that you plan to scale. Okay, show them like I may be ordering, you guys may be ordering 50 pieces at the moment, but let them know, okay, like within the next 4 to 6 months, we're looking to go from 50 pieces to 100, 150 pieces. Just give them that scope. Next is maintaining regular communication. Yeah, I don't want you guys to disappear for months and then expecting priority service. That's never going to happen. Remember, I think someone said this, I think it was H in the community, yeah. But your manufacturers are people. And so they're always going to operate like people because they are. So, for example, if you ghosted one of your friends for 3 months and then you came back to them as if everything was cool and you want them to treat you as they treated you before, it's never going to happen. You'll be crazy to think like that. So it's the same thing when it comes to your manufacturers. Don't just disappear for months and expect that priority service. Next, what I want you to do is make sure you're always keeping in touch. Even if you guys aren't ordering with them, still keep in touch with your manufacturers every now and then as well. Okay, so keep on track in terms of what new materials are they going to be releasing, like how's production inside the factory, checking on their lead times as well. Like, is it a busy period for you guys at the moment? If you're working in China, you guys already know there's a lot of different holidays in China. They've got Chinese New Year's, and usually when they go on holiday, they shut down their factory for a whole month. So just keep up to date with them. Just keep checking in every now and then with your manufacturers. And then last but not least, order with a plan. Yeah. So I want you guys to avoid those last minute orders and rush production. That's been me so many different times. You know, when like you see it, you design a new product that you want to release and you're thinking, yo, I need to get this out as soon as possible. Or summer's fastly approaching and you haven't done your due diligence to make sure that you've ordered your stock in advance. And now it's August and you're trying to get them to produce your products by the end of August. Like, you're putting your manufacturers under pressure. Plus, you're a lot more susceptible for them to mess up your bulk order, which only hurts you. All right. So instead, I want you guys to work on a schedule with your manufacturers that they can rely on and that you can also work with. And again, it can be flexible. It doesn't need to be, I need to order something on the 1st of March, but give your manufacturers maybe like a timeline. Within this period of time, I'm looking to order X, Y, and Z. Yeah? Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Everyone's quiet today. What's happening, guys? None of you guys are speaking. Like, what's going on, man? Everyone good today, yeah?
Yeah. No, it's good stuff, yeah.
Everyone's quiet today, but it's cool. No problem anyway. A little tip. Talk to me, bro.
Yeah, I got a question. What if, what if you have a last minute order? Like a last minute order. Say like you have a business trip and you need flipping 20 or 30 pieces. What should you do then?
I mean, if you have to go and rush the order and that's your only option, I guess that's what you're going to have to do. But I just feel like as someone that's running a clothing brand, you shouldn't ever be in that state where you need to be rushed. Like, you should, like I said, you should be 6 months ahead anyway. So you should be able to forecast what the plan is slightly. Obviously, the plans are always going to change, but you should always be ahead. But in the case that you do have to rush, you have to just speak to your manufacturer and hope for the best, to be honest with you. Sometimes they may be able to do it and sometimes they won't. But to avoid that, I always just say, stay ahead. So, for example, we know that Valentine's is coming up. All right, Trendsetter, we're going to be releasing some Valentine edition hats, some red and pink hats. We was planning this from back in December, so now I haven't got to put any pressure on my manufacturers because I didn't do the work. I let them know from beginning of January this is what I want to do. So now when we're getting towards the end of January, I can collect them ready for February. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, like the more consistent you are with your manufacturer, the more leverage that you're going to gain. This game's about leverage. Yeah, the winner is the person who has the most leverage. At the end of the day, you and your manufacturers, you're working together. But what's best for you is worse for them, and what's best for them is worse for you. So you always want to make sure that you're getting the better end of the stick, and the way that you do that by having leverage. All right. Again, manufacturers value reliability and predictability just as much as you do. Like whether you guys are in a relationship or even like your job, you want some reliability. You want to rely on the fact that they're going to pay you at the end of the month, and you want some predictability. You want to know that you're going to be working on those specific days, right? We're all the same. It's the same thing with your manufacturer. So RMP, predictability, reliability, and predictability. Cool. Now we're moving on to the last C, which is clarity. Now this is all about speaking the language of your manufacturer. Yeah, clarity in your communication leads to smoother production processes and higher quality products. You guys know this already. The more clear, the more concise you are when it comes to speaking with your manufacturers, the better your product's going to come out. And to be honest with you, even away from that, it's like you want to make sure that, to be honest with you, you're speaking with your manufacturers at a minimal. You shouldn't have to speak to your manufacturers about your products and the specs of it too much, because you should be putting together those detailed tech packs. The way I see a tech pack is like, that's the middle point between you and your manufacturers, especially when you're working with manufacturers overseas, right? China, Portugal, Turkey, Pakistan, where they don't typically speak that same language that we do, English. So that tech pack is supposed to be that middle point where they can just look at it, they can read it, they can clearly see what your product details are, their measurements, the colors, and if anything, you need to say a little piece, maybe 1 or 2 sentences about your product, but everything should be in the tech pack already. A lot of brands that we work with, yeah, they'll find a picture on Pinterest or on Google or from another clothing brand, send it to a manufacturer and say, can you make this? But now you're going to be disappointed and you're going to lose your money because there's so many details that this manufacturer is going to need to know. What's the GSM? What's the fit? What's the measurements? All of these different things that you need to be able to clearly demonstrate within your tech pack. When you are speaking, clarity is important. Now, when I say that you need to speak in the language of your manufacturers, I'm not saying that you need to speak Chinese. I'm not saying that you need to speak. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that you need to understand manulingo. Yeah, that's like a manufacturer's language. I call it manulingo. Yeah, manufacturer's lingo. This is one thing that you need to make sure that you're up to scratch with. Yeah, you need to have clarity when it comes to speaking with your manufacturers. They're going to be throwing around some crazy words. They're going to say MOQs, SKUs, GSMs. They're going to be throwing out all of these statements. And the quickest way for you to look like a newcomer brand is by you saying, like, what's that? Like, can you let me know what that is? That's the quickest way for you to be put into that box as inexperienced newcomer. So you want to make sure that you're up to scratch. Saram, you got your hand up. Talk to me.
So basically, with the tech pack, I've seen various tech packs in the group, and how technical does it have to be? Can it be simple, or can you just be creative as you want?
What do you mean by that, bro? When you say how technical does it have to be?
Like, I see a lot of like tech packs like this showing like every little thing. Like, does it have to be every little thing, or can it be like, here's a material, here's a design, here's a measurement, like this is the side angle, this angle? Like, I'm just a bit.
Question for you, bro, yeah? Question for you off the back of that. Why wouldn't you want it to be as specific and technical as possible?
I mean, obviously you have to put more time into it to make it more detailed, that's all.
Yeah.
You just want to.
That shouldn't really be a concern of yours, if I'm being honest with you, bro. Like, you should be in a position where you want to put in that time just so you can make sure that your product's coming out as good as possible. Like, one thing that I always like to say to people is that, well, this is me personally and the team when I speak to them. we're not releasing any products that we wouldn't be excited to buy from another clothing brand. Standard. If I wouldn't be excited to buy this from another brand, from one of you guys, I'm not even going to release it. So if it means that I'm going to spend 2 weeks, 2 weeks is a bit of an exaggeration, but if it takes that long, 2 weeks to just make sure all of the details on my tech pack are put together properly, I'm going to do that because it saves you time, number one, which is our most important asset. You're not going to be able to get none of that time back. But money as well, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't want to put together like a half-hearted tech pack. They create a half-hearted product and then you need to go again and order some new samples. It just delays the whole process, bro. So
what's like the main content of a tech pack? Like, what's required? Because I've never made one. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know those shirts? I did it with a tech pack.
yeah. Now there's a lot that comes to a tech pack. So you got to make sure you include your fabric. And when I say fabric, I'm talking about the GSM of your fabric and also your specific fabric. So what is it, cotton? Is it polyester? And the blends as well. So you know sometimes you might open up a t-shirt, you'll see the label, it says 80% polyester, 20% cotton. Like these are things that you want to make sure you're putting in your tech pack. The specific colors as well of your designs, your measurements. So what we do at the team, I've got someone on my team called Kay, and she's a fashion designer. Like she went university for fashion. I personally don't know how to do this, but she measures like every single element of the items that we're going to be releasing. So sleeves down to the arms, the cuffs over here, the waistband, like all of these things, she measures it up, and then we make sure that we include that on the tech pack as well. So yeah, there's a lot of different details on the tech pack. But what I'll do, I think Tino sent one of my tech packs into the community. So
is it the puffer one?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a great tech pack. So look through it and all of the details on there. Just literally use that for your own products, man.
No, thanks.
Yeah.
I sent one in as well, mate. It's blank, but there's also an example. So it's literally the blank template, but then the example underneath it shows you step by step how to fit it in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I see where you're coming from. Yeah, that's fine. I'll look into it.
Yeah. All right, then. Cool. So as I said, there's MOQs, there's SKUs, there's GSMs, and there's a lot more words and phrases that your manufacturers are going to throw out to you that you need to be familiar with. Let's break down why understanding your manufacturer's lingo actually matters. Number one, it avoids miscommunication that can lead to expensive mistakes. You don't want to go down that route, as I just said to Saran, just long, save your money. Next is it helps you sound more on point and experienced. You guys already understand the concept of that and why you need to show up as experienced from the beginning. It speeds up your conversations and your negotiations as well. You don't want to spend too long. Like I said, a lot of things can get lost in translation when you're speaking with manufacturers, especially ones that don't speak your language. So we're going to keep it brief, direct to the point. You don't want to be going back and forth on what these small little things mean. And then also, again, it makes your manufacturer take you more serious, and it makes their life a lot more easier as well. A manufacturer's not going to want to work with you if you're just making their life a living hell. And I've made manufacturers' lives a living hell before, and that's simply because I didn't know what they was talking about. I didn't know what to expect. But you guys are in a position where you have resources like this, so when you're speaking with your manufacturers, you know how to approach these conversations. You know what certain words mean. And this is what I was going to say to you guys earlier, that little extra tip. When you're communicating with manufacturers, you always want to speak as if you have a team behind you. It makes it seem as if you have an operation instead of being a one-man army, instead of it being a solo project. It just shows that your brand is a bit more established. So instead of saying words such as I and me, you want to say words such as us and we. It's a team. So when you're speaking with your manufacturers, all right, no problem. I'm going to get the team to send you the tech pack. Or they may send you a picture of your sample. All right, let me speak to the team and I'll let you know. These small little things, it may not really, you guys may think that it doesn't make much of a difference, but I promise you, it just makes your brand come across as a lot more established, a lot more professional as well. So yeah, another thing, I've got another resource for you guys. Yeah, it's called Manulingo. So I wasn't saying Manulingo for no reason. I'm going to send it into the community now. Boom, 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 boom. Just giving you guys resources after resources.
You're stealing that phrase, bro. I love it.
So yeah, that's loading up into the community now. So you guys feel free to go through it. It's a guidebook that just literally breaks down some of the important key words, phrases that you're going to need to know when it comes to speaking with manufacturers. Yes, it's going to give you a major advantage, and yeah, really ensure that you're just staying on top of these conversations with your manufacturers, man. So you guys check WhatsApp, you'll see that over there. And that's literally it. So what I want to do in this session for the rest of it, I just want to recap. I want to set like a few little tasks for you guys to go through, and then we'll open up the floor for any questions. Sound good? No, you guys are quiet today, man. What's going on? But anyway, I want to go through a few different recap points, yeah? So can anyone let me know what CCC stands for?
Communication, clarity, consistency.
Yeah, dope. 100% on point. Why is it important to position yourself as an established brand from the beginning? Mark, you sit this one out, because I know you've got this. Someone else. I'm going to start picking on people. I'm not going to lie. Like, we all need to be in positions, yeah, where we're able to speak about our clothing brands. That you guys need to be open to speaking. So I'm going to go for you, Desire. Talk to me, bro. Why is it important to position your brand as established from the beginning?
I feel as if, well, in a manufacturer's sense, it's so they take you more seriously. You know what I mean? Because if you're a smaller brand and you don't know as much, you know, they can take advantage of that. And, you know, they can like heighten costs in certain places because you wouldn't know what you're on about.
Yeah. Bro, to make it simple and short, like, it's just so your manufacturers don't treat you as an idiot, to be honest with you.
Yeah, lich.
Just so they don't treat you as a newcomer brand, just showing that you've got experience in this game. Do you know what I mean? But cool. Nice one, bro. Thank you for that. Next question. What can you use to make sure that you have clarity when you're speaking to your manufacturers? I'm going to put this one on Deji. Talk to me. Deji, mute it. Oh, there you go. Talk to me, bro.
Oh, hello.
Talk to me, bro.
Alright, for clarity, like when speaking to manufacturers, you can use like tech packs and also like trying to like understand like what they're talking about. So like doing beforehand research on like the terms that they may use.
Yeah. And then you can also use the manual lingo guide that we just sent into the community as well. You guys can use that and the conversation templates as well. Like, I don't want you guys to skip over these resources. Like, I use them day to day. So you guys take advantage of them, man, fully. But you know what? One thing I've realized, you see when things, and this relates to your clothing brands as well, but you see when things are free or they're cheap, people tend to value them less, not knowing that there's a lot of value behind it. That's what I'm saying. And it's the same thing with your clothing brands. Like, you guys may want to drop the prices with your brands, thinking that that's going to attract more customers, but the customers are only going to just value your brand a little bit less. We tend to not value things that are easily accessible. So even though these resources are easily accessible, don't let them go down the drain, man. You use them, trust me. But yeah, anyway, last but not least, why should you avoid keeping keeping conversations with your manufacturers too formal? I'm gonna put this one on Kendra. I ain't heard from you. Talk to me.
By the way, I just wanted to say hi to everybody. I'm actually from the States. I live in Florida, so yeah, that's.
Nice. I need to get out of Florida, you know. I need to get out there.
Yeah,
Sure.
I always wanted to go to the UK though. I've never been to the UK. I never know what it's like to be over there, so I always wanted to visit.
It's just rain. Literally. Rain on rain. I need some sun.
But why should you avoid keeping conversations too formal? I think like you were saying before, was it with you should say your team instead of I. Is it what you're saying?
That's a part of it. That's a part of it. The main thing that definitely aligns to it, but the main thing is that just trying to make sure that you're building those relationships with your manufacturers. You know, like if you're keeping it too formal, it can be hard to build a relationship with someone because it's just playing by it's like you're reading a script, if that makes sense. So try to keep it a bit informal, but yeah, you got it, man. You got it. Shout out Florida, man. I need to get out there. Actually, I saw you release some new tracksuits as well. I've been tapping in.
Yeah.
They look cold. Man. But all right, then, cool. Let's dive into some tasks for you guys. And by the way, like, I'm not going to be chasing anyone in this community to complete the task. Like, if you guys want to do it, you do it. And if you don't, then you don't. But I was speaking to you yesterday, Mark, I believe. You guys, within the next few months and being consistent with these calls and stuff, you guys are really going to see the difference in revenue between the brands that are applying themselves and are showing up to these calls and are acting on the tasks that we're setting. Like, none of these tasks are for me, I'll be honest with you. It's not for me, it's all for you guys. So whether you guys want to do it, it's completely up to you. But it's here. But yeah, for this session, there's 2 little tasks for you guys to go through. One is to record like a short takeaway video from what you picked up in this session. Just let everyone know and myself know what you learned and how you are going to go about applying it into your brand. That's the main thing. Like, people say knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is power. Like, applying it, that's the real power. So I don't want you guys to just watch these videos and not have any action behind it. So send through a video into the community. It could be a 30, 60-second video. And the reason why this is good is what? It keeps you accountable. Everyone can keep you accountable. And it gets you familiar with the camera in front of your face to create content. And then last but not least, I want you guys to draft a little message, yeah, just introducing yourself as if you're speaking to a manufacturer. You guys can all message me personally. Everyone's got my number. And you can use the conversation templates that I've sent you. So there's a template on there. It's called a manufacturer introduction. Tweak it, adapt it for yourself and your brand, and then drop me a message as if I'm a manufacturer. And I'll drop you a message back. We'll review it, and then I'll give you some feedback, man. And yeah, that was everything. That was everything from me. I'm going to stop talking. And if anyone's got any questions, hit me, let me know before we wrap up.